I'm Brittany.
I'm Nicole.
And we're those girls. Welcome to our episode. Today we're interviewing Gabby with 94 Barber Lounge. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Really, really appreciate it.
Of course. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
So we met in a really interesting way. And so I don't know if we've talked a lot about with our viewers, but you and I were on a reality show, I guess we can call it, right?
Right. We met on the blocks.
Yes. And it was quite an adventure, to say the least. I know that I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, and it's been really cool to see everything that you're working on. So I was hoping that you could talk about what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I co-own 94 Barber Lounge with my husband. He is the barber and I do more of the back end stuff. We've been open for about 9 months now, and I really just work on our SOPs and working on building and creating that great atmosphere so that we can eventually bring up the barbers in our shop and give them a great foundation, so to say, so that they can lead their own company one day.
That's awesome. How many barbers do you have right now?
Right now, we have 5 barbers.
That's awesome.
How long has your husband been a barber?
He's been a barber for about 8 years now.
Oh, okay. So has he worked for other companies and then decided to go off on his own?
Right. Yes. So he started off in the garage, so the great garage days. And then eventually he went to school and got his license and started working in other barbershops, renting a booth.
And then what, decided, as we all do, that we don't want to work for anybody anymore?
Actually, I decided I'm tired of him being in the shop more than he's with his family. And I was like, we're going to figure this out, because this is not, we got to raise these kids together. It's a lot for mama.
That's awesome.
So my question is, do you find that he's home more now that you guys own your own shop together? Or are you still finding you guys are both kind of in and out more now that you're business owners?
I do find that he is home a little bit more in a sense of like he finishes work earlier and now he has 2 days off. But when it comes to mentally being home, sometimes he's still at work and I'm like, hey, we're over here.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably hard for all of us.
Yeah.
I know that I dream about loan conditions.
Oh, no.
I think about them in my sleep. It's hard to drop it. Especially when it's like your baby.
Yeah.
Definitely. I love that too. And like my brain is constantly running on like, what is the next thing and what can I do better? And what was something that I missed?
What do you think? So, what do you think the biggest challenges you've had so far? You've only been open 9 months. Obviously, we went through that experience together. So we always were, I think you and I have the same mentality right now of like, do this, do this, do this, do this. But what do you think your biggest challenge overall has been since owning?
For me, I think our biggest challenge has been getting the right team. Not necessarily all money is good money, and doing a in-depth background on them, like looking more into who they are, understanding their personality types and bringing all the personalities together. And I'm just trying to, I don't know how to explain, but get everybody on the same page, basically. When we opened doors, we didn't really have guidance. I didn't really have mentors to be like, hey, you need to make sure you have all these contracts. And, you know, the people understand dress code and they understand this is the open and close. Just because it says open and close, for some people, it doesn't click in their head that like, this is when I come and this is when I leave. So really just making things black and white for our barbers so they understand everything, I think has been the biggest struggle for me. I guess assume that when I say something, everybody understands.
But I feel like as women, we just need it done a certain way. So we're like, okay, A, B equals C, and people don't always. I feel you on that.
100%. I struggle with that, like with my own, I guess even in our industry, like when you talk to someone that doesn't know your language or your things, and you have to really like dumb everything down to get people to understand what you need them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely been my struggle lately. It's fun.
You've been working on some really, really cool stuff though. You know, your business model is different than I think a lot of traditional barbershops. So can you expand on that and kind of like the cool stuff you have coming up?
Sure. So our biggest thing with the Barber Lounge, where we found a lack in the industry, excuse me, was that when you go into a barbershop, they don't explain to you like, hey, you should register your business. You should open a business bank account so you could start funneling your money through there and actually legitimize your business, because most stylists and barbers and people in the beauty industry are their own business. They just run a booth in a salon or a shop. And so what we strive to do is educate our barbers so that they have the ability to go out and create this strong foundation for themselves, so that when that day comes that they're ready to open either their own shop or franchise out our shop, which we are getting all our ducks in a row to give them that opportunity, it would be easier for them. So like, for example, for us, when we were ready to buy a house or even open the shop, when we went to the bank, they kind of just basically laughed in my face, because they were like, you have no documentation. You look like you've made nothing these past 7 years. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, we've made it. I don't know.
So
Can
I feel
just tell
like
you?
that happens a lot in our industry, especially from my side on the mortgages. I've had like an example. We had one of our buyers came to me and he was like, I make X amount of money a year. I'm ready to go. And when I actually got his taxes back on paper, he only made $14,000. He's like, yeah, but I have it. But like, if you don't show it and you don't get taught that, I think that should be like a class in school, honestly. But yeah, it happens a lot. And I wish people, I don't know how you get educated on that, honestly, but it happens. It's not just you guys. It happens all the time with like cell phone businesses on my end. For sure.
Yeah, so coming up in August, we're getting ready to have a workshop. And this workshop is mainly going to be focused on haircuts. But the goal from doing these workshops is to eventually have financial educators come in and other business specialists, and also people that work with houses and mortgages and all that stuff to come in and just give that education to the barbers. And for us, we're going to have it free to our barbers, but any other outside barber that would like to come in and learn and join. And it's not just barbers, it's anybody in the industry, because for the most part, their business is the same layout, I guess.
That's such a great idea.
Foundation.
You just gave me an idea.
Doors. Yeah. So we open doors for them to come in and they learn, and they get to see our environment and the culture that we're wanting to bring into this industry.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
We
Same brain.
Same brain. When you're not working, you have 2 amazing kids. What do you do outside of work?
I just started homeschooling. Well, we were homeschooling, and then we put him in school because he was like, I want friends. So then halfway, So then halfway through actual school, he was like, I'm ready to be homeschooled again. So we homeschool my oldest. His name is Gabriel. He's 6 years old. And I have a little one whose name is Leonardo, and he's 2. So I spend
like great, strong names. I love them.
Thank you. My goal was like, one day they're going to be men and they're going to tell somebody their name and be like, my name's Leonardo. And the guy's going to be like, oh,
I love that. That's super cool. I think more parents should think that way.
That's awesome.
Like how they're going to say their name when they're adults. I don't even know if I've ever thought that way.
And I love that you're giving him the confidence already. And like
you better own that name, because if you walk around and you're like a dork about it, you're not going to fit.
That is so funny. But yeah, so I've spent all my time with them. They come to the majority of my meetings. They learn the life of an entrepreneur with me, basically in the day-to-day life. We have a garden in the backyard, and We do a lot of hands-on gardening back there. Right now, we just found out that we have a caterpillar that's just turning himself into a cocoon, a chrysalis.
Oh my gosh, you have to talk about the
So I
caterpillars.
was just like two things. Can we talk like mom to mom for a minute? Because we have kids in like the same age range. So right before we went to the show, my daughter, who's 7, came downstairs and she was like, I really want to play with butterflies or something. So here I think I am mother of the year. I order them like the little caterpillars and I bought funny. Like the second, like it was like buy one, get a whole nother set of them free type of thing. Oh, so I bought them. We like set the whole thing up. I go out, I'm with you for a week, come back. We then go on vacation again. And Nicole takes care of our house. We kind of like trade back and forth when we go away. I watch her cats. She watches the birds.
Her caterpillars.
And so my husband last minute goes, can you do me a favor? Can you see if Nicole can check on the caterpillars while we're gone? And I'm like, call Nicole. And I'm like, hey, like odd question.
Can you go up in my kid's room and feed our caterpillars sugar water?
Oh.
This is, I said, sure, whatever you need me to do.
So I'm in the middle of like this.
You were at Storyland.
We were at Storyland, which up here is like going to like Busch Gardens. It's like, but it's for small kids. And she texts me and she's like, there's like real life ass butterflies flying in this thing, right? And I'm like,
she's like, I wasn't prepared for this. I was like, prepared for what? I was like, there's 4 butterflies. She's like, I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, I don't want your kid to come home to dead butterflies.
So we didn't tell. So it was like this magical thing that butterflies existed when we came home 2 days later. And there's like 12 of them now that are living in this thing. And just like, yes.
Did the sugar water work?
Well,
did they die?
One of them had a wing issue because it was floating in it for a couple days, but it flew away.
So like the other thing was there was, I don't know what they were supposed to be. There was supposed to be something that you make the water in and I couldn't find it. So I just went downstairs and found like a little container and I literally just like dipped my fingers in the sugar and was like, no idea how much to put in there. I'm like, that looks good. They're really tiny. Like how much sugar could they need? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. And they were like this big. They were like just growing.
If you want to do an experiment, because you're watching the caterpillar, like, you know, I'll send you the links and you guys can, you know, revel in growing caterpillars into butterflies.
You set them all free, right?
Yeah. We did. Yep. We did that day. I was like, I'm not living with caterpillars in the house. So butterflies, whatever they were.
Yeah. Well, we just got a cat. So I feel like if we tried that, the cat would probably try to like eat them.
Well, they're like in a little cage.
Yeah, but this is a crazy cat.
Ooh, tell us about the cat. I'm the cat. I'm the cat lady. So.
Geez. Let me tell you. So my stepsister called me one day and she was like, hey, I have this cat, but our parents aren't letting me keep it. So I need to do something with it. And I was like, okay, well, let me ask my husband since he's the barber and he talks to people all day long if they want a cat.
You got a cat.
He wanted the cat. So now we have a cat. Oh. But come to find out, this is a wild cat. He was just a kitten.
Oh no.
Like literally wild. Like he is.
Oh yeah. Nope. Had one.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. And so, geez, like yesterday I was cooking and he ran up my pants, up my shirt and like sat on my shoulder. And I was like, what are you doing? He's only like 9 weeks old. He's tiny, but he's annoying.
When we lived in Florida, I lived in Florida for like a minute, 9 months. And my brother came to visit me and there was this stray cat. And so I grew up in a house that like my mom fed stray animals. They became our pets. They lived with us. That's what we did. So my brother comes to my house in Florida, feeds. So in Florida, you know, there's cats everywhere. But he comes and he's like, oh, let's feed it. It's hungry. So we feed the cat. And so the cat doesn't leave. So then it becomes my cat. But then we move back to Mass and my ex-husband and his friend were driving the moving truck back. And they took the cat because he wanted to leave it there. And I was like, no, I want the cat. You need to bring the cat back. And after all of that, it made it like the 12 hour, they stopped 12 hours in because it's 24 hours to drive. They went into a hotel room and the friggin' cat was so feral. It got out again. We didn't talk for a little bit. But yes, feral cats are not made to be inside cats. Yeah. They don't like it. They don't want it.
Nope.
They want to be free.
Yeah, he climbs up my curtains and he'll just like walk on the top of the window and just like.
So I saw on TikTok this
Scraping.
person who created in the living rooms and stuff, like so
like the tracks? Yeah.
So like the cats can like climb up and go through the walls and stuff. You know, you could always remodel the house.
I mean, it could. So I got a lot going on.
What did you name the cat?
Okay, so when we got the cat, I was totally opposed. And I'm like, I am not feeding this cat. I'm not changing its litter. This is not my cat. So my son named him. His name is Tanjiro, which is after like some anime character that him and my husband watch.
That's like hard to say though.
Yeah, it's funny listening to the 2-year-old say it. It's hilarious. He calls him like to go. It sounds like he's saying to go.
I would just start calling him to go.
Right. Yeah. Like that's the cat's name now is to go. And he might be in and outside cat. I don't know. Right. I had a feral cat that was like destroyed the house and got it from a kitten.
Don't want to be in a house.
No. I have a chihuahua and he attacks my chihuahua. My poor dog is traumatized from this cat.
I love it. That's so funny.
That's amazing.
I don't know what to do. I'm just like, he needs to go somewhere other than here, but
I feel like he's yours now.
Yeah, he's yours. Like, can you make him like an inside-outside cat?
I mean, we're just next to a main road, and he's still so small. I'm afraid to let him outside. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand cars, I feel like, because he's inside.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So back to business.
Okay, sorry, cats.
No, you're fine.
This is what we do. We go off on tangents.
We literally talk on tangents all day long. This is literally our life. So with business, you're working on a couple cool things. Did you tell me though, and I might be the wrong person because we talked to a lot of people, but do you have a bar inside the Barber Lounge?
I do. So we have a bar, and at the bar we provide complimentary water and coffee, and we also have beer for sale.
Oh my gosh. So I've had this idea now that I'm talking to you.
Right.
Forever. For like 10 plus years. And everyone says that I'm crazy, but there should be like a barber shop that has like, you can get like breakfast on one side. People say it's gross because it's hair and food, but like it would be separated with like a bar. Cause I feel like guys go on the weekends and just like hang out. Is this wrong?
No, they
it's
do.
Like a big thing.
But
right?
legally, I don't know every state, but legally our state, we can't have food in the shop.
Okay, good to know.
Unless it's in a closed
like separated
container, somehow. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I thought that would be like, that's always been like my brilliant idea that I'm never going to do. But
so in your next franchise location, you can add a breakfast bar. Like,
well, yeah, I bet they'll let you do it if it's like separated. Yeah. Anyway,
that was my idea. At this great week that we went to at the Blocks, I made another friend.
Ooh, which friend?
David.
Ooh, yes.
Liquid Landlords. Okay, yes. So he taught me that if you find an abandoned building and you pitch to the state or the county your business plan and explain to them and you explain to them how if they fund the remodeling and the purchase of your business, it will benefit them with taxes. Mm-hmm. They'll fund everything for you.
Whitman's full of them.
I was gonna say we could totally redo our entire town.
Every single day, I swear I see a different abandoned building. Yeah. Like that I didn't know what was there.
In droves. That would be awesome. So did you have an abandoned building in mind?
There's one uptown in Charlotte. I'm trying to get this whole team thing figured out first.
Teams are hard. I deal with it daily.
Yeah, we just had to terminate a barber, and his energy kind of spread to my other barbers, and I'm trying to like reel them back in. I just reached out to one of the coaches from the Blocks to just like ask for guidance because I'm like, I don't know what to do, but he's still a student under us, so he needs to be with us or he loses everything he just paid for. And
not your monkey. That's my thing. Not your monkey. And
he could be salvageable. Is he salvageable?
It depends on him. Honestly, At the end of the day, like the biggest issue right now was that first off, we got rid of his friend. That needed to happen. And we have gotten stricter on our dress code, but literally my dress code is like wear pants, not sweatpants, and closed-toed shoes, because if you drop your clippers and you cut your toe, my insurance doesn't cover that.
Fair.
Which is like common. Well, I wear flip-flops every day, but
you're not a barber.
I'm not a barber.
Not a barber.
I think like personnel is always something that is hard in any industry. But trying to like your why and your vision kind of supersedes how we try to like help people. Like I know that Nicole and I come from like, we just want to help everybody. But ultimately, if they don't fit into your vision, they kind of do it to themselves a little bit. Because we can't help everyone. That's from like personal experience.
Yeah.
Owning a business is hard.
It's so hard. It's lonely too. Just like
it's lonely. Well, no, once you find your people and you find your tribe, it's not as lonely, but it's definitely hard to find those people.
Yeah. I haven't found them here yet. But
what are you most looking forward to in the next, we're coming into the second half of the year?
That's wild. So I just got I was with you Monday.
Yep.
And I got my email that my like 6-month review. And I was like, so I started in a new company in January. And I just can't believe it's been that fast. It felt like a second, like a blink.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going by even faster now.
Yeah.
I heard this conspiracy that the planet is rotating faster, and I kind of believe it. It's just like, I don't know. This might have happened.
So like, what would that do though? Does it speed up time?
I guess. Because like the Superman movie, he like flies around the planet.
Our producer is like just throwing his hands in the air. Well, like if the planet's rotating faster, like what does that mean?
Do we spin faster?
I can't. I cannot go any faster. Like it's constant.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Oh gosh.
Okay, sorry. What I'm looking forward to, definitely in these workshops. I'm super excited for bringing people into the shop and educating and just sharing the knowledge. I wish more people were open to learning. I love learning. Mm-hmm. But sharing the knowledge and building the community for the barbers and the stylists together. I believe in, I don't believe so much in competing as much as I do in collaborating, like bringing people together and let's grow together versus like at each other's throats, because then nobody wins.
Right.
So that's
I think in our industry a lot too, there's like a lot of competition that exists. And I honestly don't understand it between companies and within your own company and to be the top. And I understand that to be better, but like I would rather collaborate and learn from people than to be in competition with them, for sure.
I agree. So that's what I'm looking forward to and what I'm trying to bring together.
That's awesome. Well, we're super, super excited to see what you do, towards the end of this year and into next year. We know you're doing great things. If people want to stop by and see the amazing space, I've had the opportunity to see it on social. Where can they find you?
We're on Instagram and Facebook. You could just type in 94 Barber Lounge, the number 9, the number 4 Barber Lounge. And you could find us that way. We have a website, 94barberlounge.com. Or if you're in the Charlotte area, we're just off the outskirts in Fort Mill.
Awesome. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you get to relax a little bit before you got to get the kiddos.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. This is exciting.
Thanks, Gabby.
We'll
awesome
talk
to meet you.
Soon.
Okay. Have a great day.
All
you
right.
too.
Bye-bye. Do I close? I don't know how to